So all that said, right? So I landed on the Cybertruck or the F-150. And then it came to the decision of where do I put my $100. And spoiler alert, I put it on both. Just because you never know, right? But let's say you didn't have that luxury and you really wanted a new electric car and you didn't know where to put your money. Let's talk about it. I know it would be more exciting if I saved the conclusion for the end, but I think the answer is actually kind of clear. And if you can't tell, I've been looping the Ford F-150 on reveal this whole time on the background, and it's because I think it is the clear winner. And before you attack me in the comments, which obviously you're more than welcome to do, that's just what YouTube is, but I think I have a couple good reasons of why. Welcome back, everyone. We're doing something a little different than what I usually do. So you're probably used to me reviewing mountain bike stuff or likely my e-bike videos. And while I'm staying in that same realm of electric vehicles, I wanted to talk about kind of a conundrum that I've had lately. So I very recently made a decision that I'm ready to buy an electric car. And I've weighed all my options. I've done hours and hours and hours of research. My budget is probably topping out at $60,000, and I really don't want to spend that much. Probably, hopefully, something 40 and 50. So right away, you'd probably say, well, Larry, you should probably look at a Model Y. That's exactly the budget I need. My only problem with that is I'm used to a bigger car, and I don't think it can fit everything I need. So with that in mind, I keep racing, and I'm like, well, these trucks are looking pretty cool. And that, I think, is just the most practical car for me because, like I said, I'm into biking and I have a family. So I need a lot of cargo space for bike stuff and hauling bikes. Plus, I need a car seat area. I need something safe. I need something reliable. Not that the Model Y couldn't do that. I just still think it's a little too small. And if you guys think I'm totally wrong, let me know. Maybe I'll reconsider that. But basically where I've landed is the Cybertruck or the F-150. So let's kind of counter argue, right? So the first thing someone who would disagree with me would say is specs. And there's actually tons of videos online that people reading the perspective specs on both cars and how the Cybertruck just blows away the F-150. And you're right. I can't argue that. But now let's talk about me and other average people, right? So I don't need to go more than maybe 100 miles in a single day. That's a luxury I have. Maybe you're not the same, but I don't have to do that ever. That's, I have an office that's 20 miles away, and that's the farthest I drive. So sometimes I'll maybe go home to visit family, and yeah, that's maybe 50 or 60 miles. I can go from one end of the state basically in under 200 or 300 miles. So that's not a big deal of having an extended mile range. I can get away with, the standard 250 or whatever it is on the F-150, the base model. I know it goes higher. Excuse me. So if I land on like that 300 estimated mileage that you get on the Cybertruck, that's more than enough. I love that. That's perfect. And then there's the towing specs, and there's all the other stuff where the Cybertruck wins. And that's, again, true. But for me, I don't really need that stuff. And, before I get too far, I love the Cybertruck. I would get it in a heartbeat if I could. I'm just trying to be real. I'm just trying to be a realistic person here, and I just don't see it getting to me. So that second reason is budget. And let's talk about it a little, right? Technically, they both start at $40K. The mid-range starts at $50. The higher end are both starting at like $60 or $70. So that makes sense. They stack up really close. But there's one really important thing, and it's the tax credit. Tesla's out of tax credits to give. They've reached that. And let me just dumb this down because I don't fully get it, if I'm being honest. Like I know it like goes on your end of year taxes of whatever you owe. If you owe more than $7,000, I think you can get that erased. Or Dumb guy, I know. But basically, the limit is 200,000. After a dealer has sold 200,000 cars, they can't offer that $7,500 incentive to their customers anymore. Ford is kind of just getting cooking, and I should fall in right in under the wire with my order and get that tax credit, which is pretty great. That's a lot, especially if you think. I did the math. Here's what's interesting. Watch this. 625. That's 7,500 divided by 12. Imagine getting that off your monthly payment for the first year. Sure, that's a weird way to look at it, but it could turn into like a $200 or $300 car payment. It's not bad for the first year, of course. Basically, I say that to say that 7,000 is nothing to sneeze at. That's like a decent chunk off of your car, and it lets you maybe get some upgrades that you weren't going to get and kind of justify them, or at least justify them to your wife. And then again, just getting back to the point that I'm not going to be going with a fully spec'd model. And in fact, I think the second tier up, the XLT Lightning, is perfect for me. The leaked pricing puts that at like 52,000. I might add something like a moonroof or something, get it to like the 55 range minus the $7,000 tax credit. That would be the perfect price for me. I think if Ford lets you use the friends and family discounts too, I can get that. So really, all said and done, maybe that's just me. Again, I know that doesn't relate to everyone, but I should, and this is a miracle. I know this is nowhere near set in stone, under 50,000 for what's essentially my dream car. And that's a big reason that I can get that budget that I'm very comfortable paying for a car that I really want, an electric car with room for all my activities and my family, and it looks pretty sick too. That's exactly what I want. And then let's do that. And then I have that final reason, which is the most important one. Everything I've said up until this point, you could argue with me for days, and I welcome you to. But here's the stopper for me, and it's timeline. So let's say you're like me, and in the last 2 months, you've decided to buy an EV. I've weeded it down to the Cybertruck or the F150. And it's time to put your reservation in. And you look at the numbers, and it's up to 1,500,000 for the Cybertruck. That's how many people said they want it. That's a lot. And it's under 200,000 for the F-150. It's, let's say they both came out tomorrow. One you're going to get in less than a year, the other probably 3 years. And both those numbers are likely to be cut in half of people who are like me and maybe got both. So you're not going to actually buy that car. But even if that's the case, and let's say Cybertruck was cut in half. Let's say it was cut by 75% and F-150 stayed the same. It's still almost double the amount of reservations. That's hard to justify for me. So if you wanted to get that car within the next year, it's really, really hard for you to say that the Cybertruck can get here in a year. I might be in the best of both. Here's the ultimate plan. Ready? I think Ford is going to stay true to their numbers. Cybertruck, in fact, recently just announced that they're not starting production till next year officially. No shockers there. And then again, too, I love the Cybertruck. I want it really bad. So here's what I'll probably hopefully do. Is I'll get the F-150 on time, fingers crossed, and I'll probably get to drive that car for 2 or 3 years before I'm even eligible to get the Cybertruck. And by then you won't need a reservation. You can just buy it like you would a Model Y and just wait a month or two. That's what I think will happen. That's what I think you should do too. You get the truck that's actually tangibly going to happen. Then you're going to enjoy the heck out of that thing for the next 3 years until you can get the car you really want, which is the Cybertruck. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think it's the move. Okay, and then before I wrap all of this up, first of all, thank you for watching this. I know I'm just like a random guy talking about it, so I appreciate you giving me the time. And on that note, I actually recently am halfway to monetize my channel. And I know it's like so annoying when people ask you to like your channel or whatever and subscribe. but I really would appreciate it. I never intended to actually get people watching these videos. I was just kind of doing it for fun, but I'm really close to monetizing. So if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm there. So if you don't mind maybe subscribing, that'd be really cool. If not, I don't blame you. It's all good. And then finally, if you're interested, I'm going to document my entire process. So anytime I get new news about either of these cars, I'm going to try to make a video about it. And especially when I get the car, I'm going to make a lot of videos about it. So if that sounds interesting and you want to follow that journey, that might be a good reason to subscribe. And again, thank you guys for watching. Be nice in the comments. I'll reply. I really want to hear what you have to say. Like, let's talk about it. But again, be nice. I already said I don't know everything. So thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see ya.